Okay, so we're back. And what we're trying to do is see what we can do as Galloway here to expand. Now, this is turn 9 at a, I don't know, however many you want to play, year 1058. So we're near the beginning of the game. We just took over Strathclyde. We're trying to figure out where to expand. Now, technically speaking, the English and the Scots obviously historically haven't been the best of friends at all times. But I've also noticed that there's a couple of independent fiefdoms here, Ross and Argyll. Now, I would think the thing you really want to do is expand as easily as possible without having to put in that much work. Now, we have an army that's doing okay. I feel like we should try going into here. It seems like we can't do any diplomacy. There's 11 units for garrisons and militia defense. Now that seems like a lot. When we faced off against Strathclyde, they had 5, maybe 4 units. So maybe this isn't as easy as it seems initially. All right, we're at the beginning of turn 12. Now, it looks like there's some movement here in Northumbria. I don't know what the skull is. That's not great. Strathclyde was raided by Lothian. Oh, our Scottish neighbors. But the defense easily repelled the invaders. That's not great.
Turn 22. Scotland emissaries have reached us with a proposal for a transaction. This might be interesting. Is it going to be for an alliance? Who knows? So the transaction is just cooperation. Requests and our answers. I don't know. We'll take a look. Maybe it's going to come up here. The impudent claim of Lothian and Galloway undermines our authority and shows their disrespect for our sovereignty. So it's getting a little spicy here. We've kind of seen this happening already. Lothian was raided by Galloway and the defenders were crushed. Pillaging and plunder followed. Okay, so we were able to retaliate, finally. We're not just going to be sitting here waiting for the Lothian armies to come and just take all of our stuff, destroy our buildings. As threats loom, the Lord of Strathclyde has issued a decree for the people to construct a new reinforced palisade in Galloway. So it looks like something has just been built here, maybe, or there are orders here for a reinforced palisade. It's being requested in this region structure category military. So one turn before it's completed, and I guess it seems like a free building. That seems like a great boon for us. So let's go ahead. Next one. We now have a pretty good understanding of Gwerfyl's loyalty lies. 100. Great. Lothian was raided by Galloway and defenders were crushed. Pillaging and plunder followed. A powerful raid occurred in Strathclyde. Galloway and Lothian engaged and crushed all defenders. Towns and cities are burning. Okay, so it seems as if there's this tit for tat, and while we are out raiding them, they maybe raided us. So this is not great. So maybe it'll be better for us to just stay put. I'm tired of Lothian raiding us all the time. Now, if we were to declare war on Lothian, would we also get into a war with Scotland because they're their liege lord? Yeah, I think we'd probably end up going to war with Scotland, unfortunately. So maybe we can take over Elanvanian of the Southern Uplands? Petty Kingdom of Man in the Isles? I mean, it's low-hanging fruit again. They don't have any other diplomatic relations here. They're insignificant. We'll lose 13 authority, so we have 23. Is that important? I don't know. Only nations with enough authority can progress in realm status, moving from a petty kingdom to perhaps an empire one day. You know, we're already kind of sliding down that with the disorder token. I don't know how we're supposed to just get a claim on there, if that's one of those random events. Is that a regional decision that we can make? I think we just kind of wait again. Keep waiting. This is one of those things where when you kind of play tall and you're not like a really big power here, you kind of just wait until something interesting happens, because the balance of power is kind of tricky, especially when you have such a powerful neighbor next to you and nobody else is in chaos. You don't want to necessarily attack anyone for no good reason. Scotland seems to be pretty powerful. I wouldn't necessarily want to tangle with them right now. I don't know though. You know, maybe just to make it interesting, we should, just to see what we can do. They're neutral toward us, And technically, we're not their vassal, right? So if we wanted to consolidate our rule, maybe the best thing is to go for somebody like Lothian. Go after Lothian while we still can, right? Go after them before Scotland does, and then unify as Scotland. That way, when we face the English, we'll be the Kingdom of Scotland. It's not a bad idea. It's not the worst idea. Maybe that's what we end up doing, just to kind of spice things up. I mean, it's a horrible reason to start a war. I'm bored. Let's start a war. I don't know. That might be a good idea here. Okay, turn 25, and one thing I just noticed is, yeah, we have 4 aging tokens here. It's probably not great. Scotland's proposing a trade deal. Let's see, is it interesting? What's the transaction? Give them money. No? Absolutely not. You know, just based on that, Scotland, you know what we'll do? We're just going to go ahead and say, that was insulting. Let's just take you over. Okay, let's see what our announcements here. We've received a disorder token, so we know that. -4 disorder tokens, not great. Not sure exactly how we're countering that, but who knows? A noble of questionable lineage from Lothian audaciously puts a claim on Galloway, leveraging distant ancestral ties to challenge our authority. Now, we haven't gotten any kind of regional decisions to put a claim somewhere else, so we're kind of stuck. Maybe we just kind of take matters into our own hands, take the authority hit, and just declare war? See what happens? Efficient and well-organized stewardship in Galloway led to a bonus increase in national authority. Great, so 1 bonus point. And the Ostis being assembled, we have ordered the local Lord of Strathclyde to speed up the recruitment of all able-bodied men. Now, we have that as a local decision. We have completed the small harbor in Galloway. And what do we do? Do we just go to war here? I feel like, sure, why not? Let's do it. What do we got to lose? I mean, kind of got to take a risk sometime, right? And it seems like everything's kind of copacetic with England right now. So if there's any time for us to take the throne of Scotland for ourselves, let's be honest, that is the goal. Might as well do it now. Right? And let's just go to war. Let's just go to war just because. Because why not? Cannot... Oh, cancel merge. Okay, there we go. There we go. So, combat power of 110. Let's just go ahead. Invade Lothian. Combat power 42. And let's see if that draws in the Scottish. Or the Scotland, rather. The Kingdom of Scotland here. So we can't attack them now. They'll have 1 turn to figure it out. But let's just spice things up a little bit. See what happens. Okay, it's pretty obvious what happened here. We lost a bunch of authority for declaring war. But you know what? It might make it interesting. A new war has begun. The long-standing grievances between Galloway and Lothian have finally boiled over into an all-out war. And to be fair, Lothian was raiding us an awful lot for no good reason. So, they are a vassal of Scotland. For more options, you'll want to talk to their liege instead. So, they're a vassal. Their liege will decide for them. Right, so does this mean that we're actually at war? The House of Galloway does not suffer the insults of Scotland any longer. So, okay, so that answers that question. We are at war with both Scotland and Lothian here. So, who do we go for first? Now, there's a combat power of 58 army here. 106 here. That's a lot. We have 110. So, let's go ahead and take Lothian. Or try to. The devastation you've wrought upon countless cities to us all compels us to shield Lothian from your depredations. Sure, bud. Okay, from Normandy, a force of seasoned warriors and skillful sailors is on the move. Their ships, honed by naval expertise, cut through the channel, setting a course for England's shores. The air is thick with anticipation as the renown of their martial prowess precedes them, promising a formidable challenge to those who await their landing. Here we go. I didn't notice this. It is 1066. So this is the invasion of England by Normandy. So we'll have an interesting neighbor to deal with in just a second here, but this is probably our best chance. And I did not even think about the fact that the game had something kind of in there that was scripted as the invasion of Hastings. So, or the Battle of Hastings. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. So the Norman invasion is happening, and we are not going to have to worry about that, but this is our best chance when our neighbor is distracted, as much as they will be, to then try to consolidate our rule over the northern part of this island here. So we have a couple of unbreached walls now. Whether or not they attack us, that's not great. Now we have one. Whoa, this is tough. Do we want to meet these guys in open battle? Do we try to attack Edinburgh first? I think we should just kind of go for, cut off the head of the snake here, and let's just go to Edinburgh. And if they decide to sally forth, that's going to be an issue. Can we take out this army first? Let's try that. So we're targeting Autumn, which is their army. And let's just see what happens. This is the interesting part now. And let's just go to it. Let's see what happens here. Okay, ongoing war, current war score. Yep, all right. Okay, so now on to the battle. We've arranged, a typical kind of setup here. We have some light archers on the hill here, archers here as well, and we have a bunch of Scots Highlanders, our Scottish spearmen on this hill right here, and some archers back here. We have our Commander-in-Chief Madden on the sergeants. Using the sergeants? Nope, that's still. All right, so now we're going to move forward with the battle. Let's go ahead and end this turn. I'm not super particular about how I set my forces up at the very beginning of a battle. We'll see if that actually matters here or not. But now we've ended that turn. We're going to be, yes, are you sure? We are sure. Now, let's see what the enemy army looks like. Ooh, all right. So it looks like they have some more cavalry than we do. So a bunch of sergeants here. It's good that we have our heavy spearmen here. This is actually kind of dicey. There's a bunch of spearmen in the middle. Archers here. So we definitely outnumber them archers-wise. We might want to try to use that to our advantage. So what I'm going to do here is move these guys to the outside. We're going to move the Highlanders up. Now, we're going to try to see if we can get here before they do. If we can get on the rough ground here and stand here right as they're on the difficult part of the hill, we can use this little copse to our advantage. Now, the nice thing is that we don't have to worry about too many archer units here, or too many cav units here. It still makes me a little nervous, though. We're going to move our generals here. We're going to see if we can align everybody on the ridge of this hill. And as for our cav, we'll keep them back here. And then we're going to have our Scots Highlanders move up. Those guys are supposed to be over here. But I think that's everybody. Oh, and let's move all of our archers up here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these light archers can move backwards through our troops. I mean, if not, then that's going to be a problem later on because they're going to be stuck on that hill there. Now, oddly enough, they've given us Scotland's banner. I guess that's just kind of what they're doing here. Now, I'm not sure if they're waiting for us to go to them. If they're waiting for us to come to them, it'll be better. We can get this open ground, but I'm definitely not going to try to trudge through here. Yeah, I believe these guys can move backwards through these troops here. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to leave them in the front. Let's see if they move at all. They are not moving. They're letting us come to them. So We're going to have the advantage here. All right. Let's move the command up to this ridgeline here. Now, the obvious disadvantage here is that if we get pushed back, we're going to get pushed back into rough ground and into the woods here. So if we can move up further where that terrain's not going to affect us, obviously the better. And the first volleys here. That's a really long range. I forget how long the range is for these guys here. Are they going to move? Oh. Oh no, archers in the forest. A lot of them too. Uh-oh. I should have known that. That's tricky. Good on them, though. Those light archers are kind of taking a beating here. So, okay. Looks like they're still refusing to move the rest of them here. We're going to move this unit here. Not sure how much of this is going to be us shooting at each other until the units just start breaking. Which, to be fair, you know, I think most... Oh, there we go. Most battles kind of do that anyway. There's no point in rushing forward if you don't think that you're going to be able to use that to your advantage. But it seems like this is moving a little slowly here. Now, these guys are in the woods, obviously have a bunch of cover, so let's try to see if we can get these guys to break. Alright, so disrupted there. Alright, keep forgetting to do this. Okay, so they're advancing down the road. They're finally moving. If we can stay on that hill and keep them on that slope, that would be decisive. Now, there's a lot of archers on our left here. Hopefully, that won't disrupt our spearmen. Oh, okay, well, there's one of our light archers gone. We'll stay on this right here. Now we're going to start shooting at the actual spearmen. And I think we just wait here. We're gonna wait here. I don't know if this is the right move. I think we're okay. We're just gonna wait for them to come to us. Now this is gonna be a little tricky here. We can either make sure that we're outflanking this unit here when they come to these hills, and our subgeneral will stay in the center here and hold firm as our archers kind of bombard them from either side. Question mark? Oh no, they rallied. That's not great. Okay, here we go. Ah, there we go. Okay, so now their horse is on that hillside. This is actually a lot dicier than I thought it was going to be early on. All right, here we go. Now it starts. Let's go ahead and just charge. We're just going to wait for them to come to us. All right, here we go. Okay, they charged up the hill. That seems like the wrong choice to make, but... Now, the funny thing is that I did not remember that these guys were over here. I thought they were going to send all of their spearmen down to the center here. But it looks like they're sending them on both sides. We're going to need to pay attention to that. Okay. Now, I think these guys can fire and then turn back. I believe. Okay, so we have 12 AP. Can we fall back? It's going to be 4. We're gonna have these guys fall back. It's a little too late for them to fire. These light archers, I don't know if these guys can fall back. These guys can pass through as well. And let's just go ahead and shoot here. And we're going to have our Scots Highlanders move up. And we're going to have these guys move up as well. Get a couple of volleys in. And we're going to move our Highlanders up here. There we go. Now, do these guys stay up here? We're going to move them and have... Oh, there's no AP left for them to turn. These guys can actually fire here as well. Down on the end of the field. We're going to hold steady here. And hold these guys in reserve. These are a bunch of ranged units. They're not going to actually come out at us here. You know, maybe it'll be best for us to actually take the initiative and start rolling this flank up here. Or chasing these guys away. Not sure which the smart choice is. I think because these units are already in battle, it wouldn't really make too much sense for us to attack here. We're going to go here on this hill. See if we can start dispersing these guys. We don't want them to start firing for no good reason or start disrupting for no good reason. And I think that's going to be the end of that turn there. Ooh. Nope, that's not good. Okay, this can actually work. If we can push on this hill right here. We might be able to break these guys. They're already fragmented here. And there we go. These guys then we can turn. Nice. These guys are in melee. They'll lose that, but we'll turn our archers around and try shooting at these archers here, getting them to rout. We should win this. They might be disrupted. There we go. Oh, fragmented and pushed back. Now we're going to push back along here. Now we're going to turn our archers this way. See if we can start disrupting these units here. Alright, now we're going to start charging up the side here. This is chaos. Okay, so we have some Highlanders here. Where are they? What am I looking at here? Ah, right. I'm pretty sure if we go here, we can break this unit here, and this unit will break as well. Oh, actually, let's just turn and shoot. Oh, they didn't. Oh, they rallied? Come on, man. Right, that was the thing I was not looking ahead. Ooh. That's not great. Ah, and they got up the hill. Wow, okay. So there we go. They broke. Great. We should be able to push this now. Ooh, that's it. That was going to be a lot more impactful than that. Oh, there we go. We should be able to roll up this side here. All right, there we go. And now these archers can go and advance. Oh, that was already a unit that was already folding back. That was pointless. All right, here we are. This should be able... no. Can we push these guys back? Unlikely. We're going to get these guys ready to move in here, because who cares about the archers on the side? It's about breaking these units that are still here. Okay. And these guys are fragmented. Can they turn and fire? 0. We probably should have just had them retreat. Oh, I think this is actually the win here. All right. And I did read a comment that these battles were kind of a quote unquote way to kind of cheat your way out of a close battle because they're relatively easy. Now, the scale I have noticed is different from your typical Field of Glory medieval battlefield. So that could be it. It could also be set up to just be kind of a, not a throwaway, but maybe a quick battle to resolve. But maybe that's just because we only had so few units on either side. Maybe that's the reason why the battlefield is small. In any case, we're victorious here, and this is one of those where I feel like the combat power was pretty evenly balanced. So if we take a look and look at the field here, glorious victory. Let's take a look at the field. Yeah, that seemed pretty straightforward. We just held the high ground here and used our archers to great effect. I feel like in a normal, typical Field of Glory battle, having that many archers would be a liability, especially if you don't have any other units to back that up. But we were able to use them effectively here. I'm also surprised that we were able to do as well as we did without much cavalry. Although the enemy didn't have that much cavalry either. It's just kind of a slog fest when you have a bunch of spearmen trying to, you know, kill each other. So that's the first time I've exported a battle to Kingdoms, or from Kingdoms into Field of Glory Medieval. And yeah, it was fun. I feel like this is one of those things for me, because I am not necessarily super adept at the Field of Glory game, it was kind of a you know, a nail biter for me. This might be extremely easy, but I feel like most of Field of Glory's battles are kind of 50-50 up until one side is very clearly going to win. But I think we did an okay job. I'm satisfied with that result. And so if we take a look at the numbers here, we did actually outnumber them, but according to empires, their combat power wasn't that much less than ours. So in terms of casualties, almost 2-to-1 in terms of total casualties here, in terms of casualties killed, and then wounded, 2/3. And of course, most of their troops are the ones who were captured or deserted, and we had 5. Elephants and artillery, not a thing, but 50% of their army compared to 10% of ours. So, you know, I'll take it. I'm not sure exactly what this is going to look like in Kingdoms, but let's take a look. Let's see what happens to those units.